to completely take him down. Like you say, this Prince Philip is on your screen right now. If you go full combo, no one's really making their way through that.
Nope.
But the thing that Amethyst still has, if they do play the card, Olaf Helping Hand is a character that can come down on one and be able to help save some of your characters. Also, you can sometimes just outdraw that Prince Philip. But if he hits the board and he's established, you're going to be able to just quest around it, and it's just, you can just take out the entire board and just quest out for a victory there as Captain Hook comes in on one.
Yeah, that Olaf still looking for some warm hugs because Captain Hook is out instead, as we see an inking of a Basil to play that Clarabelle. The danger looms, the potential shift of a Light on Our Hooves just on its way. Can Kevin out it, or will it survive to shift?
Going in on that second turn, maybe a card like Fire the Cannons can come back into the deck, but people typically are not playing that, as we do have that Timothy Q Mouse. The Q is for Quincy, and he's out there on two. Curve that into a Tinkerbell and start questing. That's another good win condition. Maybe you can just get underneath this Sapphire and Emerald strategy, quest hard, and maybe you can win out from there. As Sky now thinking about how you want to do this, have not slammed that ramp on two. Maybe you don't have it.
Yeah, and you're right. That Timothy Q Mouse coming down specifically for matchups like this one, for matchups like Blurple. It is really designed to help the Amethyst Steel players get underneath these bigger decks. So, knowing that Kevin is prepared for that, and you have to imagine we've got evasives on the way if Timothy Q Mouse is down on turn 2.
Yeah, you're probably going to slam it there, get the Tinkerbell, and then you can go into the Genie, and that is a lot of lore being represented, forcing Sky into that better have it role with this Prince Philip into a Malicious, Mean, and Scary, into a Shift Prince Philip. That is the way, as you have another Develop Your Brain after that. Sail the Azurite Sea, ink the Vision, play the Develop, just trying to sculpt your hand
feels so
for some
good.
high-quality impact cards.
So often do I ramp on 2 and am I not able to use that one? But whenever you can get that Develop on that turn 2, man, it feels so good. It's such a feeling to just say, hey, you know what? I get extra things to do other than just ramp.
And will we find that evasive character? And we won't. It's going to be that Lexington. So this might be another indicator why some Illuminators are electing to use that Genie Satisfied Dragon instead of the Lexington, as you do lose that one strength. However, that one lore might be the difference maker between winning and losing. As we know, this match will come down to that grindy. You can get stopped at 18, 19 relatively often in this matchup. So let's be interested if that comes up.
I would imagine it comes up more in this deck than in other ones. When it comes to Amethyst Steel, they generally are crawling on their elbows trying to get to that lore. They're not running like an aggro deck.
Yeah.
Even though they're trying to pretend that they're like imitating an aggro deck, just laying out characters, trying to turn sideways. But they're all questing for one. So yeah, I think you're 100% right. I think that getting to those moments where you're like, I got one more this turn and one more that turn. That's the difference between a Cobra on 18 and a Cobra with 17 on the table.
Or you go White Rose, Cobra, White Rose, and you still can't close it out.
Yeah.
So that is a very interesting point as we are going into that critical turn for play. Are you going to get the ability to get that Strength of Raging Fire? I think it might be still in your best interest to get this Clarabelle Clumsy Guess off the board right now, as Sky is representing that shift, and you have the ability to get a song off with this Scrooge or Donald Duck is in hand, playing the Mentor King. Benja is back at it again. That's the second installment of Benja, as Strength is going to be deployed, taking out the Donald instead of the potential Clarabelle. You have no cards in hand, so I guess Clarabelle does not strike you as an issue right now.
Yeah, I will say that I think one of the biggest mistakes that players do when they're playing against this deck, and I'll tell you, even some players who play this color combination, is they overvalue that Clarabelle sometimes. Targeting that Clarabelle might feel good because you know that shift is coming, but to your point, if you've got no cards in hand, that Donald presents more cards for that player than that Clarabelle does at this moment. And I think that might have been the right play there for Kevin.
And he also can sing as well, but that Donald could also help you. You're rubbing hands right now. You have no resources, and the Clarabelle is shifting, and she can kind of start walking through a lot of your different characters that you have on board. Granted, this Lexington and Captain Hook will love to trade with this Clarabelle here in this spot very easily, and you can start questing again. But if you lose your board here, you're going to have no way to refill, as you're hoping for the top of your deck to bail you out of this situation.
Yes, as Clarabelle says, I'm dancing all the way over to Timothy Q Mouse and saying, get on out of here, buddy. You're done.
And that's pretty good. And she takes them on out of there. One card in hand. It's always a dock. It's never not a dock in this scenario. Let's see if we're the goated player that we are. Kevin Lundy here. Looking at this card, I haven't slammed it immediately, so probably
not a dock.
probably not the bullet.
It's probably not a dock, if I had to guess.
And
He'd be smiling right now if it was.
He'd be slamming. That thing would have got played so insanely fast. It's probably a Cobra here is why you're staring at this card for so long. That you have nothing to discard. I think it still might be some value. And we ink
Cheshire. It's the cat. It's Cheshire, and that is a good card. I think with as big of the willpowers as characters that are going to be coming down on Sky's side of the board, maybe undervaluing it a bit, saying, "Hey, does boosting that really matter right now, or do I need to set myself up so that if I draw an Elsa, I can play it?
Right?
Does it matter? Would I rather draw into a Hades and play it? Those are the kind of decisions that you're making when you're inking a card with nothing else in hand. You're kind of hoping that the top of your deck will do you some favors. As John Silver comes down and says, "Hey, Mentor King, come fight me."
Yeah, he can't quest. He cannot quest his turn. He can't challenge anybody. And John Silver might be lucky because the Mentor King, I know he only has a 2/3 stat line, but he'll be happy to trade wits with this Storyborn Villain Alien Pirate Captain. No issue. I think Benja takes him down any day of the week, twice on Sunday, except for in the 5K Friday. Shout out to PPG. We're here. And now as Sky is leaning on this John Silver now to help slow the aggression, Kevin still needs to find some resources here. Holding one card in hand, it is that ghastly serpent, giant cobra hanging out there in the grip right now.
Yeah, as Sky is just digging. That develop your brain leads to scary things. Just lots of scary stuff happening right now in Sky's side of the board. When you see it develop, when you see a vision of the future, as the opponent to the Emerald Sapphire deck, you are not feeling great. There's a lot of tension right now, a lot of feelings like, what did he find? And what we find is that Prince Philip.
Scary Prince Philip representing the demise of Kevin Lundy, who's staring down at his potential shift option. Coming in from the chat, Pongo Cuba. I ask myself that question every single day, and I still haven't found the answer. Oh, my goodness. When someone finds out the answer to that question, please let me know.
Yeah, please let me know, because I'm not even sure myself, but I appreciate that.
As we are going to start questing, Benja now is going to be reckless one more time. And this is looking gruesome and grim again for Kevin Lundy, who needs to find a dock probably right away. If you can get a dock into a dock chain, end it off with a strength thing, you're goated. And I think you still have the cards to be able to pull that off.
Get that practice of docks running, man. You got to get that practice of docks.
Yeah.
As we figure this out, we see Mother Knows Best sending Lexington back to hand, trying to slow down that progression on the board, saying, "Hey, you played it, you spent 4 resources on that thing. Go ahead and spend some more. Spend 3 more on that thing if you need to."
Yeah, and also that this Benja is going to have to challenge into this reckless John Silver.
Yep.
And now you took away some Strength of Raging Fire plays that could have potentially saved your Benja. You've also now the Lexington and Benja can't combine, challenge and banish the John Silver. So I thought that was a really, really cool play from Sky, showing the versatility of a Mother Knows Best in this strategy. I know that's a card that's at a point of contention in this Sapphire and Emerald strategy. He's making it look great there in that spot as Benja is forced to send some hits into this John Silver.
Yeah, that Mother Knows Best, for those of you that might be following through on a more competitive level, Under the Sea is a card that you sometimes will see in the Emerald Sapphire strategy. Mother Knows Best seems to be kind of taking that spot, something that can be played with just one character versus needing multiple characters to sing it. Very, as you mentioned, very diverse, allows you to get out of a pinch sometimes earlier on in the game than what an Under the Sea might be able to get you to. I'm a big fan of it. I made the shift over in my build as well, so I understand. As we see a giant cobra, that spectral cobra coming down and opting to let go of that Lexington to gain 2 lore, taking Kevin to 11 lore to Sky's 2.
Yeah, I think Kevin right now recognizes the win condition might just be I have to just squeeze it out strategy and just gain any incremental lore where you can, and hopefully it's going to be good enough. Currently, you are winning the race 11-4, but you notice that the position has completely fell apart. Your card draw has stagnated, and you are just in a compromised position.
Yeah.
John Silver is bewilding all of your characters with a little bit of reckless, and now you have to lose your Ghastly Serpent here while keeping 4 additional lore and a potential shift available for Sky. So you need to make something happen here sooner than later.
Yeah.
That one card has to be something great.
Kevin is really at the mercy of the top of his deck right now. I mean, he has the resources, he has the ink to play whatever might come off the top. I doubt, unless he's doing something dramatically different, I doubt there's anything much higher than 6 in his deck right now. So basically, every card in his deck you would say is live. The question is, will he draw the card in the right sequence of orders to squeeze out, to get 9 more lore out of this game? That's the real question that we're trying to find out.
And so far, they've been coming in very disjointed orders. As you can see, that Strength of Raging Fire, Strength for 1, feels about as bad as you could want to ever see. I mean, that's a low value, low impact strength of raging fire.
Yeah.
You weren't able to put any hits onto that Prince Philip due to his ward keyword, so you were forced to put some damage into the Donald Duck, and you absolutely hate that for yourself, as he just did that because he did not want to lose the body of that Ghastly Serpent into a challenge. So at least got some value out of it. I don't hate that. Holding on to this genie here.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it, JDZ.
Yeah.
You know, as we see, you're right. It was the thing you could do. That was a choice. But either choice you had wasn't a great one.
Yeah, you got a rock and a hard plays. Ignis Strength, I guess you could have it, but then you'd lost your Ghastly Serpent. So I don't hate it. You can still lose them here and now, and it looks like we're going to MKB the John Silver, and that is tempo lost, but tempo gained, as you will be able to put Reckless back onto this Ghastly Serpent one more time.
Correct.
And restand your John Silver now, who can potentially get a plus. One for one into a plus. You did go neg there on that bounce back.
He did, but Sky is correctly identifying that he's in a position where he can do that and not lose too much tempo. It did slow down the quest and forces Kevin into a weird spot here. It was able to find a genie off the top of the deck. Are we going to find that sequence? Are we going to get to those string of cards that gets us to some magical place here? We see an inking of a Hades, which could be helpful here. That could have potentially been 2 more cards, but choosing to ink it instead. Let's see what we get.
I would have saved that Hades and had to make a deal. I'm looking for a deal. I'm looking for a way out, and I would have hoped Sky would have shown me some rope, because this John Silver is actually giving you the 100% business right now. He's fresh and he's ready to quest, and he is going to hit the genie now with Reckless, the taunt, and we're going to put that genie now, forcing him to challenge at the end of these characters. Slamming him to the John Silver would be a key and crucial play. Cinderella now is going to get you some more ramp and a card cycle. This is looking great for Sky, again, who's on a rampage.
Yeah, that's certainly one way to put it. Now, I will say when it comes to Amethyst Steel, you can never really count them out. They like I said, the sequence here could be in his favor. We do have cards in hand, so we are no longer in a position where we're hoping, and we might be able to string together a strategy. We might be able to put together some play lines that ekes out that additional 9 lore. Can Kevin get to it before Sky is able to turn those characters sideways, get to some exert, and get to some questing and winning the game? Giant Cobra is one way to get some more lore.
Yeah. And that is a great point, Gabe. So I think we're fully prepared and committed to just drag this thing out to the finish line, as the Ghastly Serpent is going to get a quest in. Genie is Reckless. So I think you're going to have to get rid of your Genie. And this play is only made available by that Mother Knows Best play, which turns out to be a super cool play. And you got to really acknowledge that kind of stuff when it happens, as John Silver is going to be reset and now able to basically get that card back from getting plus from that Genie.
Yeah. So Sky making these smart plays early, setting up these early game moments, or doing them earlier. So we're getting to this moment here. He's got control of the board. Now develop your brain, getting some more power into his hand. Can he find those answers? When you play a Cinderella, when you've got 7 ink on the table, that's usually indicative of not having a whole lot of power. It also is indicative of a patient player who is waiting for the right moment to spend their cards on the right characters, because there is such a thing as burning your cards on things that don't really need it.
That's another great point Gabe's actually cooking, dude. So I want to see if Kevin can find. We saw that Demona go down to the Inkwell. I would love to see if there's another copy of Demona here. If you can somehow maintain this board that you have in some way, John Silver is probably going to get a quest in. Tinkerbell is probably going to become Reckless, but still, I think a Demona, while Sky has a ton of cards in hand, to be able to exert this board and clear that Donald, clear that Prince Philip, and then potentially, or maybe even put some hits into this John Silver just to get that annoying lock off the board. I think that could be a very viable turn coming in from Kevin next turn. So he's got a pretty tight poker face, and we're kind of getting a little glimmer of the glimmer. Glimpse of the glimmer.
Oh, that's cute. I love it. That's great.
Take that one to the bank. You can have it. A glimpse of the glimmer. And another one. Oh, my goodness. The big potbelly pirate is just completely working Kevin's will to go on, as 2 characters are now Reckless.
This is a terrible position to be put in. Having 2 characters that can do nothing but challenge is not where you want to be when you're playing an Amethyst Steel strategy here. This is not the spot Kevin wants to be in. He knows, and you can see it kind of in his face. He was maintaining that poker face. However, that stare is turning into a grimace as we see just deciding, okay, how do I get out of this? What do I need to do? All these questions and more living inside of Kevin Lundy's head rent-free.
I'm a big fan of the face cam. I think that should be a critical requirement when we do these streams. I love getting to look at these players and seeing what they're thinking about. There's so much information that can be gleaned from their expression and reactions to certain things, and also what they don't react to, because certain information we can see, like sometimes we see their hands and what the opponent has, and checking their poker faces and what they're trying to tell. As sometimes the opponent, and that's something I need to work on in my own personal game. You got to look at your opponent too. Yeah. Don't just kind of stare down and be in your antisocial bag especially when it's not your turn. You need to look at them and see what they're doing. There's information to be gained there.
They got to follow that Ed Chu stare. They got to figure that out and lock in. You'll win 3 extra games a tournament if you do the Ed Chu stare. I'll tell you what.
And maybe it might make them uncomfortable too. I mean, I know maybe I don't know. Maybe that's not maybe it's not a good sportsmanship. But just give them a little stare, and every now and then throw a little wink in there.
Yeah.
And then they say, "Why are you winking at me?" You're just like, "Oh, I got something in my eye. I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah, you're crazy.
And now they're not off their game, Gabe. You throw them off their game.
So you're gonna gaslight them too. This is great.
Yeah, like just give them a little wink, a little one-eye wink there. There you go. Why are you winking at me, Judge? He's winking at me. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're crazy.
No, you're crazy, man.
You keep playing. You're playing well. You're playing really good, man. Keep playing.
And here we go. We are going to finally get rid of one of those John Silvers, and I'm fairly confident that's what Sky wanted to happen. And you have the Prince Philip who's going to get plussed over there. And Tinkerbell can put some hits into the Donald Duck just to keep her around. The fast flyer now notably did not get to quest. So that is some serious lore that this John Silver has saved you from.
Yeah.
And we are grabbing 6 ink. Is it Demona time? We're looking for a deal.
We want a deal. Let's make a deal, folks. And Sky says go ahead and draw them 2 cards. Ooh. They're yours.
He did that kind of fast. That's selling Clarabelle to me. I wonder if Sky is holding on to a Clarabelle.
I can't imagine.
He made that deal super quick. I guess the Potbelly Pirate is just looking really good and really holding your board together. So why give him away willingly? But we have a pass here as the Donald is getting another draw. This card might be a problem. I think you got to get him out of here when he's just running loose. I think you were right and I was wrong there.
I'm telling you that top hat's got some stuff in it. He's hiding something in there because he's trying to just keep finding more things. Let's see, what did that top hat give to Sky? Is it anything strong enough to start moving things off the board? Are we ready to win yet, Sky? Or is Kevin going to sneak this one out? I guess we're going to find out. Because look at that board state. We thought Kevin was cooked. We thought he was cooked, Chad, but maybe not.
Sky is at 13, and you have some pressure on the board. And I think this John Silver could get we're going malicious and mean. Even though that just clears 2 characters off the board here and now.
That was pretty good.
Also, that damage is going to be uncheshireable, as it may be.
Yeah, that really lowered the value of that Cheshire Cat. That was a very, very smart play on Sky's part, knowing that Cheshire Cat could swing the game going into the next spot. However, that Basil is going to put even more pressure. Cheshire Cat going back to hand, leaving Kevin with a lone Hades and his contract that was signed. But that contract doesn't do you any good if you can't back it up.
And now Sky is getting another quest in for 2 with this Donald Duck. Fear and Killer, give up this Donald Duck because he's done all of his damage. And you have game inbound. So you need to make something serious happen here for Kevin as that tempo, Basil, tempo, malicious meaning scary, just blasting 2 different characters. You have this Hades looking for a deal. You got 2 additional cards. Were they juicy or not?
That's a great question. Whether or not they're going to close this thing up for Kevin, I don't think so. The game is closed. The question is, who is it for? And Kevin, the look on Kevin's face told me it's not him.
And we saw a multitude of snakes and cobras already, and Kevin is just going to recognize that. And I think that is just I think people are allowed to alter so aggressively, and it's so free. Like, why not? And you got sculpt your hand so well in the early game, and you're doing what your deck was designed to do way too often, in my opinion. I think people need to struggle a little bit more. I think struggling builds character, and I think you should only be able to alter maybe 3 cards, 4 cards max.
So you want a 3-card alter? I love it. As we see Palace Guard hit the table. I wonder, did we alter for that? Would that have been one of the 3 cards we would alter?
Oh yeah, I'm curving. I'm 1, 2, 3. I'm singing strength, and we're out of there. But the improvise.
What a strong card.
Gotcha. You thought you had me, but you almost had your car. Said Ja Rule.
This man over here quoting Ja Rule. I love to hear it. That improvise. It's funny. That's another card that's found its way into this deck specifically for this matchup. You've got these illusions, these characters with the Vanish keyword, and Kevin punished heavily
Yeah.
for playing that card because it allows Sky to not only banish a character, but Sky just got to replace that card, got to draw a card for it.
And drew a card in the process. That is just such a good little piece of tech in the deck. I'm glad to see that it's back as we are sailing the Azurite Sea, those treacherous waters, staring down this Marine Sergeant Calhoun, who's out here. Notably great in other matchups, not too terribly much in this one. There's not a lot that she can devour here and gain that 2 lore, but that rigid 3 cost will kind of help you maybe ward off some under the sea type beats that could happen a little bit later. She only quests for 1 as well, so that is notably not the ideal 2-cost character. You like to see that Q mouse into another 2 quester would be nice, as Clarabelle is now out after Sell the Azurite Sea.
Yeah, absolutely. That Calhoun is only good in this matchup if you can have a barrage of Madam Mim skaters on the team.
That'll be good. That'll be really nice to really get after some of the other characters that she's free and clear to quest here. And now followed up by the Lexington, who's representing that Strength of Raging Fire Singer. Sky now can't quite tell the hand. I do see there is some Mother Knows Best in hand still.
Yep. There certainly is. I thought I saw more than one. In fact, as we were deciding what to ink, this is a interesting spot to be in. Are we about to see a Donald Duck Perfect Gentleman? Are we about to see a Dreams Come True Cinderella? The possibilities are endless. Sky, what do you got for us? Although this tells me that we might not have either, and we're trying to maximize on the ink that we have available to us. Because usually one of those 4 drops is pretty much a slam dunk to put down at this point.
Yeah, I think he just jams it right away. Maybe he's trying to play a little bit of tempo to set yourself up for a potential Clarabelle next turn if you can set a card back here. So maybe he's thinking of a Mother Knows Best into an ink and then set yourself up for an ink Clarabelle next turn. As never mind, it's Cinderella right away.
The dream has in fact come true. We're about to ink a card, draw a card, and put us into a really great spot. This Cinderella is such a huge benefit to this deck. It really changed the consistency of this deck over the course of 1 set. Whispers in the Well, this has been a prevalent theme. I even mentioned earlier in the stream. One of Cinderella's favorite songs to sing, of course, is You're Welcome. And we'll see right now if she's going to sing that great tune that Maui has taught her.
Oh, man, I cannot agree with you more there. When this card was first revealed and when Whispers first came out, I went public and I said, hey, I thought how this was probably one of the best cards ever printed. I've come down from that. I do believe that she is much more fair and balanced than I had originally thought, but the card is still incredibly powerful.
Oh, yeah.
And I think she really gets to represent herself well in this Emerald and Sapphire strategy. Just what it does, being able to fix your hand, being able to accelerate, being able to cycle cards, get you closer to your win condition, your combo pieces. And it's just a really, really cool design now. Sapphire still also can play this card quite well. But it has some vulnerabilities. It has some flaws too.
It does, yeah. That uninkable situation is something to consider. It can really. So, for example, we saw that Sky had a really difficult time making that inking decision when he played that Cinderella. He was put into a position to ink that Basil. Basil is a good card coming up really quick. If you're ramping and you're getting close to that 7, you don't want to get rid of Basil. Sky was forced to do that.
Right.
So, that's an example of a way in which Cinderella can be both a blessing and a curse in this matchup.
Yeah, and she has low stats at 2-3. You can't really clear too much. She can't quest too well, but she's still an absolute amazing legendary card coming in from Wizards of the Well. I'm glad that she is here, and I think it's not as broken as I thought, as we're just going to draw 1 card with Clarabelle light on her hooves.
Yeah, I mean, listen, a card's a card. I'll take them. That's one more card than Sky started that turn with. Anytime you can get value from your Clarabelles, you do it. Again, we've talked about there being such a thing as, overvaluing that Clarabelle when your opponent's got no cards in hand, when you should be maybe controlling the board better, but that's not the case here. Kevin does have cards, and so we want to maximize and be able to draw.
Yeah, speaking of Kevin's cards, he has so many cards that Lexington cannot cannot rule the night here. He's stoned by day, and that is going to be another card being added to hand via the Genie Wish Fulfilled, so he probably won't be able to ready next turn unless you can. I can't quite tell how many cards are in hand. I think you're going to have to end this turn with 3 unless you play a 1-cost character here or perhaps sing a song, and you can't do either. You're just going to take that 2 lore, pass it back on over, and this is looking pretty good for Sky again. If you can get a full combo set up or at least threaten one, Visions of the Future can help you do that. You're going to be super on your way back.
There's a lot of people who worry about that Stone by Day ability, but I got to tell you, a 4/4 sideways is still a 4/4.
Very true.
So you want to run into this? Go ahead. I was probably going to run it into you anyway. So we figure out that way. So sometimes you have to take it with a grain of salt. That Stone by Day ability allows you to think through how you want to play it. Maybe you want to save it. Maybe you got to keep that tempo. But sometimes You just got to let it stay sideways. Let it stay frozen.
Yeah.
We are here in Florida. We're a little closer to the equator than you're probably used to, so it is daylight a little bit longer than normal, and I think Lexington needs to get used to that.
I'm telling you, I'm with you. I agree. But I was high on this Lexington character as well. But I go Genie, they go Lexington, and then they'll Elsa the Lexington, and now he's frozen, and they're Quest the Genie anyway. I'm like,
Right.
what am I doing? Like, why? What world are we in? And then they just Cheshire Cat, Elsa takes out the Lexington. I'm like, why did this just happen to me, man? He just got absolutely finessed out of everything that he had, as it happens like that from time to time. Donald now down again. Let's see if Kevin elects to take this Donald Gambit one more time. We haven't seen any docks. We haven't seen any strength plays coming from Kevin either. This deck's looking not as powerful as it typically does. Clarabelle gets another card, too.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that Donald Duck will present another opportunity for Kevin to keep that Lexington exerted. But I got to tell you, if you're going to give me the option to draw a card, I'm probably going to take it, even if it means giving up that Lexington for another turn, because a card's a card here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cards are cards, and the goal of the game is to turn those inks sideways, to exert those inks specifically, and then to play cards from your hand. So if I can get more cards in my hand, I'm going to do it. That's just the life I'm living.
If I'm Kevin, I'm all in at this point. I'm playing as many cards as I can from my hand, and I'm questing as aggressively as I can as the Ursula Whisper Vanessa is coming through. You're talking about a clock. She can hit the gas pedal super fast here in this scenario, as Kevin is realizing that as well. Realizing the way you're going to win, you got to quest to win the game. Allegedly. I don't know. I don't make these rules, but I'm assuming that's how you win is by questing. And I think I'm taking this 4 here, and I'm not looking back. I might even take the 5. Clarabelle, Calhoun Kid active, dude. And I'm sending her in there as well.
100%. I mean, yeah, the name of the game is to exert those characters, go on a quest, tell that story. Man, that Whisper of Vanessa Ursula, she's so scary.
Yeah.
She is so scary. And those are one of those cards that, like, I could use this to challenge characters, or I'm going to go ahead and just take my three lore and just figure that out.
And just be evasive, too.
Yeah,
why not?
Why not?
Be evasive to boot, as we are developing our brain. So Sky is looking for some pieces, it seems, and he made that development choice super fast.
So fast. I'm scared.
I'm terrified.
Don't do it.
And that's one of my bluffs I'm going to have to start doing when I play Vision of the Future Development Your Brain. I'm going to start making sure I'm going to clock myself how long it takes me to do develop your brain when I don't have it, and how fast I do it when I do have it.
Yeah.
So that way, if I develop my brain and it's double TPO, I'm still going to take a little time and then add the TPO.
I love it.
I'm going to start doing that, because people take them super quick and take them super slow sometimes. And like, oh, he got it for sure. Oh, I'm cooked.
Yeah, game's over. I may as well scoop right now.
He
And you're over here deciding between TPO 1 and TPO 2.
He got it too fast. Or just pick it fast every time. Just pick it fast every single time. As the Ursula Whisper of Vanessa is getting your welcome back to the deck. That is Pain Train fully realized, as
hate to see
you
it.
weren't able to get that 3 quests in.
You hate to see it. That's 2 more cards that are being added to Kevin's hand. That's more opportunity to lock up that Lexington, to keep it frozen by day, and it's more cards that Sky gets to draw because of that Clarabelle, light on her hooves, down on that table. Man, oh man, this is a rough spot to be in. Kevin's saving grace right now is that he's ahead on the lore count. He's got 2 evasive characters, and certainly right now, not a whole lot for Sky to do about those 2 characters, but to let him quest one more time. Well, never. Just kidding. I just lied to you, folks. Because, in fact, Mother Knows Best says that I'm wrong, because we're going to take one of those genies and send him back to his hand.
And Mother Knows Best, proving why it seems like a very, very great card in this situation. And notice, you thought your Lexington was going to be unthawed, and guess what? He is not. Had this been the Satisfied Dragon, this guy would have gotten quite a bit of lore. Hold up, he's not ready. Let's get that Lexington back exerted. Let's find a judge if we can. If we can pause the action, if we can. Is there any way we can get a judge over on that table? That Lexington should definitely be stoned as well.
This is Florida, folks. This is not.
Oh, there it is. He got it.
Okay, we're good.
That bad boy is stoned.
Yeah.
He is a big brick. He's been sitting there stoned for the past 45 hours, it seems.
What's the hardest? Is it quartz? What's the hardest stone that you could be?
That's
what Lexington is right now.
Without Google, I'm going to say granite. Okay?
I
will say granite. Granite seems like a very hard stone.
Yeah.
Maybe some pewter?
Pewter. Yeah, chat. Let us know in the chat. What is the hardest stone? Because whatever that is, that's what Lexington is made of.
Would it technically be diamond? Is diamond a stone?
I don't
That's
know.
more of a gem, I would say. The hardest natural material on Earth is the diamond.
Okay,
but what about a rock, like an actual stone, though? Maybe we could find the hardest stone. I think it would be a diamond. I would only suggest.
Yeah.
But the hardest rock, maybe it's cobalt. I don't know. It's a metal. It's a metal. What am I doing?
It's a metal. That's fine.
We are still cruising for a bruising. Genie returns back. Adds another card.
As we see Calhoun hitting the table. Now, in terms of the characters on the board, does Kevin have more characters? Yes, Kevin does. But what does Sky have in hand? Because what Sky has in hand is much scarier than things that are on the table. Can we quest faster? And we're watching Kevin do that as he goes to 13, 7 away from closing this story on Game 2, trying to take this thing into a Game 3, which I absolutely want to see. I think everybody wants to see this go to a Game 3. Watching these two play has been fantastic so far. Let's see. Sky, what do you got for us, buddy?
And it is that Cinderella. We're going full combo. Oh,
no. It happened. The thing happened, folks.
Ooh. And you knew it was just a matter of time before it did happen. You did kind of insulate yourself. You do have resources to be able to somewhat come back to return fire, but it seems like that is a lot to take in there. As you got full combo here, Sky still has resources to fight back. We have another Lexing who's very rarely unthawed here. He's unstoned. He's actually active, ready to not be exerted, it seems. Oh, my goodness. What a backbreaker.
Yeah, see, this Lexington is locked in, but when it turns sideways, it's locked out. And so we see Benja also hitting the table, too. And, oh, look at that. It's Madam Mim. And she's here on her, I guess we're calling it a surfboard. It's like she's like surfing.
Yeah, surfer Mim. Skater Mim is what the cool kids are calling her these days.
Yeah.
And this is the third Amethyst Steel strategy we've seen with a bench in there. The Mentor King has returned. He has not broken an item yet on stream today, but he's been active, and he's been doing his thing. Not again. Please.
No.
Oh, man. When it rains, it actually pours. And that is a GG condition there.
I do believe that's all she wrote.
Yeah, that is a hard – I mean, you can fool me once, shame on you. You can fool me twice. And your foes are getting vanquished there. And that feels painful there.
That was devastating. If it was me, I'm tilted. Kevin's got to be feeling. Yeah, at this point, you just show your hand and say, "Look, man, you got
GG." And the fist bump is going to go across the table, and that is what it is. I mean,
well, we are back here in the interview booth with Sky, who is no stranger to PPG, to the interview booth, or being on streams today. Second stream match we've got to see you play, and it's the second time you've taken it. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
So before we get into the actual matchup, I do want to talk about PPG a little bit. I know in Denver you won that event, and you also played Friday. How did playing on Friday and doing well in that event, like you're doing here today, set you up for success in the main event in Denver?
So I'm somebody that doesn't play a whole lot tabletop, so it's always nice to have a tournament before that's not quite as high stakes to kind of practice yourself for the lines. I didn't do super well in that one. I was I think one went off, I lost my win and into the date for the cut, but it's always nice to play. So it feels good to get the cards going. A lot of it's like if you're playing a deck that can go to time, it's nice to have those warm-up games where if you need to speed, you have that muscle memory. It's always different than looking at a screen when you're playing in paper.
Yeah, absolutely. I love how you say, you didn't do so well, but you were, one away from, the winning into the top cut. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Sure,
I mean, it's not winning, but it's pretty good.
I've been spoiled, so, anything that's not, top cut, I'm always disappointed, but it's not bad, per se.
That's fair, especially this season. I feel like it's kind of your moment. So this matchup here, playing against Purple Steel, you took 2 games on the draw. What are you doing in that matchup to set yourself for success on the draw and the altar? And then also, what have you worked into your deck for that particular matchup? How'd you set yourself up for that today?
Yeah, there's a couple anti-aggro stuff that's nice on the draw. Improvise is huge, as you saw that last game. I just took out a Palace card. It replaces itself, for there's no harm done. There's plenty of times where you don't even need to play the Claire, or if you have a sale, you can play them both and you don't lose a card. So that's fantastic. That saves you 3-4 lore. That can be huge. That can be the difference maker if they have those 2 Cobras to get there, and it just shuts that off. So stuff like Improvise, also stuff like John Silver, seems like a very cuttable card in the deck because he doesn't do anything with the combo or anything. He's just kind of a big body that gives something reckless. It's very good versus Purple Steel if you don't have the combo right away. Sometimes you don't have that triple ramp where you can speed run it out on turn 5 or 6. So he's very nice for that. Some of the stuff that Purple Steel wants to do versus you is just dump their hand as fast as possible. Some of that's done with Cobra, some of that's done with triple 1-drop opens. We didn't see that match, but we did see Cobra, so something like Improvise is also for the Cobra as well. So just to keep everything off the board as fast as possible. You're going to win the late game if you can assemble a combo. You just have to keep it so they're out of Cobra range.
just inevitability is with you. You're
Yeah,
saying.
for sure. Like if you notice, I didn't quest at all the whole game just because it's not even worth it to give them a Calhoun extra 1 lore. I know if I have my combo, I just have the 2-turn clock. So
Yeah. It's interesting. So one question coming out of last weekend, as we try to get into your mentality coming into PPG this weekend, one of the interesting things about Charlie's is Charlie's always has this this tendency to kind of change how people think about the meta. And last weekend, we not only saw Zan take it down with his Amber Amethyst OTK or one-turn quest deck to win, but there were also some other variants running around, like this burn deck, this Amethyst Emerald burn deck, which made top 8 and seemed pretty good. Did what happened in Charlie's change your approach to this event at all, or were you pretty much set on your deck and you're like, I'm gonna play this, and however people choose to react to Charlie's is how they react?
So the whole main event went super well for me. Everything went well. I only lost the mirror, and it was on the draw, which is expected. And he also had Ben, so that's even worse. I just misplayed really bad in my top cut match. It didn't have anything to do with the build, but I did change a couple things. I learned some things. I was playing the 3-cost Clarabelle. Now I'm playing the Prince. It opens up some lines that you can actually have games where you can win against dogs on the draw, or sometimes Purple Steel, if they go that 1/1 drop, you can have games where you can turn 5 Prince Shift, and it clears everything. And then I added the 2 improvise. So same exact deck, just a little bit of tech that helps with the low to the ground stuff.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I'm going to let you go prep for the next round, but if the current results so far any indication, we'll be seeing you back at the top tables and maybe in the interview booth before too long. So
yeah, hopefully. Don't curse me though.
Sorry, knock on PPG.
knock on the felt.
But congratulations on that win. Thanks for joining me again, and good luck in the rest of the day.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, I'll send it back to the booth.